Plastic Ball Championship, which allowed us to enter those type conversations with folks on around the horn and part of the
No question that it's a different part of our sport.
That's another one that just looks pretty right off of Barnes' hand, striking the 9th on the Scorpion.
Exactly, but you know, either case, you know, even though Wes did not bowl the plastic ball tournament 2 weeks ago, I can tell you right now that he's certainly become a great player that is very, very versatile. And plastic ball or not, or a loaded up cell ball like he has right now by Rotogrip, he's going to figure out how to make it strike.
Just a tad light, flat 10 for Wes, opening the door here in the 9th frame.
I'll tell you what, with the spare conversion here, it is. Chris kind of getting on top of Wes for leaving another spare over here in the right lane. Somehow saying that's not possible. It is an absolutely tie game going into the 10th frame. Chris Barnes working on a strike, and Wes obviously working on a spare, but Wes up on his good lane. I'm not going to put the hex on him, but right now I expect nothing less than 30 pins down in 3 shots.
There's the first.
Big surprise on that one there.
Didn't see that coming.
This ought to be interesting if there was an actual wager bet. If it was any kind of food and the possibility that Chris Barnes could have to dig deep to pay for Wes Malott, I'm sure that Wes will go on a starvation mode until that point of payee.
Well, we do have a Denny's gift card on the line in the Pride of Texas in this extra frame game.
Hey, you can't talk about food while it's on the approach. Even I won't play that on.
As we all remember from the Indy telecast, Wes was briefly interrupted by Randy Peterson in just such a moment. I don't believe Randy had food on his mind, though. 10th frame, Malott.
Snake, for someone that wasn't excited about that shot off his hand, it still found the white 1-3 pretty high flush.
Pretty high flush, and there was some stuff on it as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Possible 229 for Wes.
There's that old saying, he might have left something in the bag. Not Wes Malott. He's not going to get cheated.
Yeah, he kind of did.
Strike here for 229.
Oh, stand up and
7 count.
That's the 4 that moved
226 the final for Big Wes.
226. So as it stands right now, Chris Barnes is in the must-strike situation here for the first ball on the 10th. Not quite for the same merit, but I think he's looking to make a little reprieve on himself for what happened, unfortunately, last week. Though it's not food, Wes wants to make sure he gets a good bird's eye view at this shot.
It's the beauty of the extra frame game. Competition, fun. But competition is the main draw.
Tell you what, Chris is saying there was a shadow. That's an awful big shadow out there.
Quite a big shadow.
6'5" standing over top of you. Well, obviously we see where that shot went.
You know I hadn't eaten today for a reason.
Speaking of food, there we go. It's on now.
Chris predicted it.
Wes looks like he's going to lend a helping hand here.
The gentleman improvising on the fly with a trick shot classic. both right in the lumberyard.
2:03 the final score for Chris Barnes. Wes Malott 226.
Another good match coming down the 10th frame. Not a surprise.
No, not at all.
Those two guys.
Not with two great players like that.
Yep. Oh, wait for Mike J to get down there. Wes taking another shot. He can strike on that lane.
Well, he can strike on that lane, but if you notice, that wasn't exactly the flush strike you're looking for, but it still did the trick. Somehow doesn't
When you're
surprise
hot,
everybody.
you're hot. Wes just picked up a 10th frame strike, post 10 frame strike on the Viper, and Wes, extra frame game victory, lots of fun, but yet competition still the main word, and you're still good on that scorpion pattern.
Yeah, that scorpion pattern out there today, it's a little even more favorable than last week right now. I mean, it all depends on who practiced on this pair and how they broke down, but I think that's why we had a little trouble on the right lane today. But, you know, we'll see how the week goes and just, you know, let all this disappear because they're probably going to be totally different tomorrow to some extent because obviously the way they were broke down today. So, you know, keep it one step at a time in front of me and see if we can get to the show again Sunday.
And Chris, that darn 10th frame.
Yeah. Well, I kept moving right, trying to get the half 7 out. I moved right another half forward in the 10th and then missed about 2 left. Somehow that didn't work out very good. So,
looking ahead this week to the Don Johnson Buckeye State Eliminator, interesting format as we go to the Eliminator format once match play hits.
Yeah, I mean, we roll a lot of games going up the first 2 cuts, and then we're down to 2 games. I think we'd all prefer to see a few more games down in those rounds as it gets more important, but it'll be pretty reminiscent of some of the amateur formats we used to bowl.
And Wes, looking at this Eliminator format, what are your expectations going into this week?
Well, like I said, I'm just going to take it one step at a time. I've got, you know, somewhat of the reins on the player of the year. So, you know, like I said last week on the show, you know, anything can still happen even though we're coming down the end of the season. There's still a lot of play to go. So just take it one step at a time and one shot at a time and hopefully get there again and really put it away.
And we couldn't end this without at least one more shout-out to Michael Wilbon, another victory on your plate and perhaps a 57-pin match. One of the things we were looking at as the next extra frame game could be the potential of Michael Wilbon versus Wes Malott. What would your feelings be advancing toward that match?
Well, I mean, I think it's great. You know, exactly what my intentions were with you know, my actions on Sunday were to try and get some more, you know, get some response from him, and it worked out great. He obviously still respects me to some extent, just like I'll respect him as far as when it comes to talking back to each other. I'm going to be way on the down shot there, but, you know, hopefully we can get together. You know, it's my understanding that he really wants to do it, and hopefully we can get a time together and have some fun with it, and, you know, maybe we can put it on extra frame, but I'd like to see it on, you know, mixed into our show somehow and have a lot more fun with it and get a lot more people out there to be able to see it.
Absolutely, and it's just great to see the PBA getting mentions and ESPN's Around the Horn, and pardon the interruption, entering the national landscape of sports conversations as some of the great things happening this season on the Lumber Liquidators PBA Tour. Chris Barnes, reigning PBA Player of the Year, thank you so much. Wes Malott, I do have the presentation of the Denny's gift card. Will it be Grand Slam or Moons Over Miami?
We're probably going to have to go Grand Slam with some extra bacon and stuff like that. I might even take my nice friend out here and enjoy it with him.
That would be quite kind of you.
I know he doesn't expect it, but, you know, that's all right.
Wes Malott taking this extra frame game. We thank you so much for joining us on PBA.com. We'll throw it to Jeff Mark and Parker Bone III in the booth for a quick wrap-up and a so long. This is Mike J. Laneside.
All right, Parker. Well, that's another wrap-up, our second version of extra frame game. Wes Malott defeating Chris Barnes. Chris not getting done at 10th. Again.
Unfortunately for him, it's just a matter of time before he gets that worked out. And when he does, I'll tell you what, he's going to win a lot more titles if you think he's already got 10. There's a lot more out there for Chris Barnes waiting.
For sure. Well, fans, that's it. Hope you enjoy your extra frame this week on your free preview week at Sequoia Pro Bowl. And we'll see you later in the week with match play before the TV show. Thanks, Parker. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Jeff Mark, Parker Bone, and Mike J. Laneside. We'll see you all later.